Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin Frost here, Kona astrologer. About to do show 1120. 1,120 weeks I have served you faithfully. Every week, try to bring you a little bit of ancient science for your enlightenment. Yeah, that's what it's about. This is an interesting time we're in. You're at the time of no shadow. So I think before I do the sky mirror, I want to get into this. This is about religion, okay? Here we go. It's really about do-it-yourself. The problem with our Western culture is that we have these institutions that do things for us. The institutions of doctors and hospitals take care of your health. No, they don't. You take care of your health. The institutions of the church takes care of your religion. No, you should take care of your religion. So one of the things I've learned is, you got to be your own automobile mechanic, your own electrician, your own plumber. You got to do things yourself, not rely especially on institutions, those that are designed by government and politicians. Well, most of them, these institutions have evolved. But if you start to look at churches like corporations, institutionalized religion, you should be suspicious of them as much as you are Monsanto. So what this is about is a time, astrology is a study of time, when you can get into your own religion. And if you're like me, a lot of you already kind of lost religion. Huh? Here's my notes to myself. Do you feel like you lost God? Well, here's your chance to regain your connection to God, the Father. Our Father who art in heaven. Yes, that's what it's all about. Now, it turns out that once a year, the sun comes to the very top of the sky, and if you put a pole out there, it won't cast any shadow. And when you get to the place where the sun is exactly overhead, it's very famous, the no shadow time. Father comes and sits with you briefly. This is what your maypole thing is all about. When the Westerners came in and found the Aztecs and Mayans and all of Mesoamericans, they did this no shadow time religiously. It's a joke. But when they saw this was coming to the top, that's what all of the big monument, like the Washington Monument, is there to kind of show you when the no shadow time is. Of course, it doesn't work. It only works inside the tropics. Lucky we live in Hawaii. So what I have here is a list of the no shadow times for you to use to regain some connection to your Father who art in heaven. Now, I'm a little late on this because I didn't realize Pahoa folks are in such trouble with Pele out there. And the first date is the 17th, which is Thursday. And you don't see the Thursday show till 7 p.m., but your no shadow time is at 12:16 p.m. It's different on different days because the sun is moving north in latitude. Now, what happened was when the Catholic people went into the Mesoamerican society, a lot of their priests were subjected to this no shadow day because everybody went out there and they put flowers and fruits, and all the kids danced around the maypole until we get to the no shadow time exactly, and then Father would come and sit with you and visit. The most religious time of the year, if you're interested in Father in heaven. Well, the Catholic priests, they were amazed by this. And they were burning all the books, stamping out the original religion, huh? But when the Pope heard about the reports of all the priests, he said, no, we're going to keep this part. We're going to keep this part of this old ancient religion. And you priests are going to get behind this because this is bringing people to Father. So they put out a little booklet they sent to all of the priests in Mesoamerica that gave the towns and the latitudes, because it's all about your latitude. The sun has to come to the same latitude. And this booklet would tell the priests the date when this is happening. And they could help get the local folks ready and participate in this wonderful ceremony. So the only piece of this savage religion that the Pope and the Church okayed and even encouraged was this one that's about to happen to you. So here's the dates. On each of these dates, the times are all about 12:30 because that's kind of the same way. But now get out your pencil. You got to write this down. Yeah? A little late for Paho at 12:16 p.m. But if you're in Hilo, it's Friday. Yeah, if you're watching the Thursday show, tomorrow, Friday, at 12:17 p.m., the sun is directly overhead. And Father will come and sit with you. In Kona, it's also on the 18th. Latitude's very similar, but it's 12:20. Just 3 minutes later. So Hilo, Kona on the Big Island, Friday the 18th. Write it down. Okay, make a note. You're going to want to do this exact. I have been doing this since I learned about it. I do it myself. I like do-it-yourself stuff, so I have my own do-it-yourself religion. Do-it-yourself healthcare, do-it-yourself automobile repair, etc. Don't rely on corporate government groups. You got to do it yourself. So here you got a chance to meet with Father yourself. I recommend you go someplace, go to a corner of your property and set out a chair for Father, put some flowers on it, and be alone so you can talk to Father when he shows up. You got to talk out loud to Spirit. You know, Spirit talks to you back with telepathy in your head, but you got to talk to him out loud. So, Hilo, Kona, May 18th, 12:17 and 12:20. If you're on Maui, it goes to the 24th of May. Write it down, 12:23 in Kahului. Won't be much different on the rest of Maui, just a minute or two difference. You know? Oh, what's this? Kamuela, Waimea. Here you go a little further north in Hilo, Kona. And it was on the 19th. May 19th, if you're living in that area, at 12:19 p.m. 12:23 on the 24th on Maui. Here's Molokai, May 25th, Kamukakoi. Is at 12:25 on the 25th of May. If you live in Honolulu or on Oahu, you have to wait till the 26th of May at 12:29 p.m. Tell your friends in Honolulu they don't get the show if they're not watching it. Watch it on YouTube. Just YouTube Astrology with Rollin Frost and you'll get the show. Or go to my website, skymirrorastrology.com/TV. People in Honolulu, they need a little religion, do-it-yourself religion. Well, 12:29 on the 26th. Find a quiet place. Expect a visit. Yeah. From our Father who art in heaven. If you're on Kauai, it goes all the way to the 31st. And happens at 12:35 p.m. Father will come and visit with you. Now, I didn't quite believe this when I first learned about it, but when I heard that the Pope and the Church had picked out this one piece, of old-time religion and kept it, I was impressed. So I tried it. And you might think this is funny, but here's my instrument. This is an old half-inch piece of pipe. And I got some twine on it here. And I would take and hang this. This is 2 feet long. I'd hang it out there someplace on the porch or wherever I happened to be on the no shadow day. And when you hang it out there in the sunlight, and if it's hanging like this, it's exactly vertical. When the sun gets to no shadow, it goes right down the pipe, and on the ground, you have a perfect circle. The sun shining through this pipe. And that's when it's exactly at no shadow. So I would actually measure it in the particular location I was. This is my own private maypole, huh? Now this is important stuff because it's a chance for you to get out, to corporate religion like corporate EPA and corporate health and corporate everything has kind of failed us. Our institutions are not working. And this includes the religious institutions. So you got to do it yourself. And here it is. You can do it yourself. Yeah. Now I would recommend you start like 5 minutes before these times. And just start to talk to the empty chair with the flowers on it. Talk to your Father. Do the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven. Hallowed. Moby Dick, Don Jacobs, the Baptist minister who studied this new Aramaic, and he said that the Lord's Prayer, if you go back to Aramaic, it isn't our Father who art in heaven. Heaven is translated as sky. Our Father who art in the sky. And that's what we got here. So, get out there, do-it-yourself religion, be by yourself so you're not embarrassed sitting there talking to an empty chair, and you'll probably have the most religious experience in your life. You will reconnect to Father. That's what religion's all about. It's about connecting those of us on the earth to those up above. That's what all of them do. All the ancient cultures. I mean, you can go back and look at the Egyptian pyramids, Orion's belt. Here is Teotihuacan, one of my favorite places, just above Mexico City. Here's one pyramid, another one. Here's Orion's belt. Hopi villages, Orion's belt. Every place, the ancients copied the sky and did things to try to connect themselves to what's above. Sometimes it's hard to understand, And look at that. Boy, that's alien. Those Catholic priests, when they got to the Mayan Aztec and saw this stuff, it freaked them out. So they burned every book they could get. These are all things of the devil, but they kept the no shadow time. And the Pope put out an actual booklet giving all the main towns in Mexico their latitude, the date that Father would appear. So once a year you get a chance to connect yourself. You don't need the institution of corporate religion. Nobody. You don't need nobody. You can go out and sit on a rock. Sit in the dirt. Doesn't matter where you are. The timing is pretty much exact. If you start a little 5 minutes early and go 5 minutes late, if you're off a minute, it'll catch it. If you have some instrument, obelisks. Napoleon started bringing these obelisks back from Egypt, like the Washington Monument. When it's directly overhead, you can see that easily on one of those obelisks, but of course they don't work if you're not inside the tropics. Outside the tropics, you don't get the exact no shadow. So, okay, now we're done with that. You got a shot of your own do-it-yourself religion. Let's get into the sky mirror and see what's going on there. Hey, let's get down to business here. Here's the sky mirror. I drew up a chart for you. Interesting chart. Here's Venus opposing Saturn. Not so hot for pleasures of the flesh, for a little while anyway. Here's the sun. The sun is going into Gemini. And here at this point, it's trining up to Mars. So it's a good time to get out and do physical stuff. Fix things. Trim the trees. Do things like that. So here's Mercury, though. Mercury is opposing Jupiter. People will talk too much. Neptune over here, trining Jupiter. Hey, there's some truth about real religion. What's that? One of the things I picked out already was because of this Mars thing, there's some violence going on. Mars squares Uranus. The moon hits it on Saturday. And what this is about is overheated electrical things, breaking connections, electric fires. They tend to have wrecks with planes and trains and cars and things that have motors in them crash and stuff. When? When is that? Well, here it is. You see it in the sky mirror. Right there. There's Mars and Uranus and Pluto. It's on Saturday the 19th. You smell some overheated wires. Better get out and open the hood. Okay, the moon goes around this planetary pattern. The planets are just the characters on the stage. Let's see how it goes day by day. If you're on the Thursday show, well, Thursday morning, the moon went by Venus. Probably had trouble getting out of bed, didn't ya? Snicker, snicker, ha ha. But here's Saturn, see? And so by late Thursday night, everybody kind of gets practical and down to earth and sobered up a good deal after the pleasures of Friday morning or Thursday morning. On Friday, your first no shadow day, wake up, Hilo Kona. Kamoela. Anyway, this is a religious spiritual time. And look at that. Here's a nice trine to Neptune. It's in the middle of the day, Friday. Hey, isn't that when the no shadow day is? In the middle of the day, Friday the 18th? Yes, it is. Let's see, each one of these little marks is 2 hours. It starts here at 2 a.m. So this is pretty much noon, 1 o'clock to the moon hits a trine to Neptune. When it does that, oh, I missed it, there's also a trine to Jupiter. So this could be a religious experience for you on Friday. I hope those of you on the Big Island will take advantage of this. If it's your lunch hour and you're working Friday, okay, 12:30, go out to the park, sit under a tree. People won't notice if you're talking out loud. Okay, here, Friday night, we're talking after dinner. Here's the opposition to Pluto, a little panicky, and your tough Saturday begins Friday night. Saturday in the morning, after breakfast, there's a sextile to the sun, and you got some ambition. You think you're going to get something done? Well, look out, because here's the Uranus-Mars square. It gets hot, motors blow out, things happen, fires, hots and sharps, look out. They happen suddenly. Power outages. This could be more Pele stuff going on the Big Island. So Saturday is a difficult time, and you want to be careful. Don't use the machines, and you don't need that leaf blower. Hope it burns your hand. Get the rake out. Do it by manual means. It's like do-it-yourself religion. So Saturday, the moon's still in Cancer until the middle of the day, and then it shifts into Leo, and it all changes. Becomes a little more happy, as you go through Saturday night. As you go into Sunday, the moon in Leo has a square to Jupiter. We're overdoing it. Yes, and a square to Mercury. Too much talk. Kids are yelling. Too much noise. Everybody's running all around. Too much clowning around Sunday. And the moon's still in Leo as you go into Monday, and you're probably going to feel pretty busy. But Monday afternoon after lunch, it shifts into Virgo, and here's a trine to Uranus. Hey, astrology works. Common sense works. Do-it-yourself works. Well, the idea works, because at the same time it trines Uranus, it squares the sun. So you're not going to get much done Monday afternoon, after work especially. There is a nice trine to a sextile to Venus. This is Monday night. Now this is late. This is like midnight. And one little square before. These lines are about 2 a.m. in Hawaii. Midnight on the west coast. So this is real late. You're probably too tired for sex. Don't eat sweets. It'll keep you up. You know, just relax a little bit. It's a nice Monday night. Continues into Tuesday. There's a nice trine to Saturn here. You're highly organized Tuesday. The moon's in Virgo. Get stuff done. Time you get to after dinner Tuesday night, moon opposes Neptune. Confusion. You lose the inspiration. So on Wednesday, the 23rd, the moon's still in Virgo, and there's a trine to Pluto. There's discovery in the morning. Learn more about Pele. Really worth learning about. Continues through Wednesday. On Thursday, the 24th, let's see, late Wednesday night, here's a nice trine to the Sun, Mars trine. Here's a lot of physical stuff. Good for solid work Wednesday afternoon, evening, you know. Yeah, continue even Thursday morning. But, you know, Thursday, the 24th, is no shadow for Maui. And it's not as easy, because here you see in the middle of the day, if you're trying to do your non-corporate religion, do-it-yourself thing on Maui, here's a square to Saturn, and it happens just before, about lunchtime. So there's an extra sober sadness here involved. And the square to Venus, no fun, no pleasure. The flowers don't work. More difficult for you on Maui to get no shadow. Sorry, you can do it anyway. Complain to Father, you know, about the lack of fun and pleasure and sex and money. See what he has to say. Yeah, talk to your father. Moon's still in Libra, Friday the 25th. It's going over Molokai, and in the morning there's discovery. It's a square to Pluto. They're worried about Pele. A little panicky in the morning before the no shadow time. Little moon in late Libra, huh? Goes into Scorpio on the 26th, Saturday. That's Honolulu. If you want to do no shadow in Honolulu, well, you got to deal with electrical, hot wires, accidents, machines breaking down, crashes Saturday morning, the 26th, just like it is Saturday the 19th. Tough Saturdays. See if you can go without electricity. Saturday night, here's a sextile to Saturn. Oh, we got by. Late Saturday night, there's a 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Here's a nice trine to Venus. There's love, there's sex, there's sweets. Yeah, there is nice stuff around on the 26th. For Honolulu, too. On the 27th, the moon's gone by Jupiter. Oops, I didn't watch the screen, excuse me. So here you are. Hot stuff, motor going out Saturday morning. Getting organized, pleasure Saturday night. Getting inspired Sunday morning. Good time for church. Trine to Neptune and then to Jupiter. A lot of religious inspiration here on the 27th. Did you learn something at the no shadow time? You don't got to tell people. They'll think you're a pagan or something. But remember, the Pope and the Church officially published a book encouraging you to do the No Shadow Day. Our Father who art in heaven comes and speaks to you. It's a good time. Here's a short piece on environmental health. From Sustainable Pulse, the same people taught us about cell phone towers. What's this say? It says that Roundup is linked to global boom in gluten intolerance. You got gluten intolerance? They're hiding little bits of Roundup in all your food. Ugh. Here's another one about it. You know, Roundup shortens pregnancy lengths in American women. Eek. What happened to our institution protecting us? I'm going through old books trying to throw some stuff away. Krupp here is an astronomer, and I had great hopes for this book, Sky Watchers, Astronomy and Archaeology, but it's noticeable he never uses the word astrology. So I was kind of going through it before I threw it all away because it's got neat stuff. Here's this thing of Beijing. Here's what the Chinese were really up on this astrology thing, and here's one of their observatories where they figured it all out. I came upon this thing, which I really liked, about Kublai Khan and Marco Polo, and this made the book worthwhile, all of it. What does he say? Astrologers and soothsayers, come on. This guy will do anything to put down astrologers, and you'll think they're psychics and soothsayers. No, they weren't. They were astrologers. There were 5,000 of them. Marco Polo reported that they have astronomical instruments and planets, and they predict the weather. 5,000 guys predicting the weather. For instance, they will predict there will be thunder and storms in one month, earthquakes in another, lightning and violent rains in another, pestilence, war, discord, conspiracies. Marco Polo added, they write down their predictions for the year on small squares in booklets. Those with the best record for accuracy were elevated in worth. Yes. And he says anyone planning to travel or undertake some other business would consult an astrologer to learn the disposition of heaven towards us. That's what Ben Franklin said. Shame to the age we live in. In old times, you know, any important thing, you consulted an astrologer. Wow. I didn't believe the No Shadow Times when I first heard about it. Go through it. Try it out.